So much has happened in your life.
Yeah, man.
How are you feeling about you're grown up now, like all these grown up things are happening.
The reason why I don't let all of this Hollywood stuff kind of get to my head or ever really get into my head is because I always kind of think of myself the same way. I'm a kid from Stapleton Projects, born and raised, just who's been blessed enough to make a living doing things that he loves and that he's inspired by and inspired to do. The thing that I love most about myself are the people that I keep around me, my friends, my family. They always say, birds of a feather, or, if you want to see who a person really is, look at their friends. And I think that's true in many different ways. Of course, sometimes our friends aren't the most savory types, but I do think that there's something about every single one of your friends that keeps them around you. There's something endearing about each and one of them. So if I wanted to say what I think is the best thing about me, it's when I look up and I see all of my friends, my family, the people that I keep around me. They keep me inspired. They keep me moving the days that I don't want to. It's them.
So as you have grown into this space and into this man, how does pruning season show up for you? And what are some of the ways that you've had to like move forward and cut some ties?
Man, I will first start this off by saying, my God is an awesome God. He reigns.
Sometimes God will do it, right?
Literally, all you have to do is sometimes just step out of the way and let God move, man. We tend to find ourselves trying to save people that really aren't doing any good for us. So I was blessed enough to, I guess, have enough discernment or be able to hear him enough to just step aside and let the pruning happen itself. Of course, there's always that, you have to put some skin in the game yourself. But I do believe that if you understand what the season that you're in, and you understand where you are, and you are fully committed to the various things, your career, your family, and you just step out of the way. You do the work that you need to do, but you step out of the way. You'll see who feels slighted by it, and you see who is empowered by it. And those are the people that you start to, it cuts itself. Everything cuts itself.
I feel that. I feel that on a different level because I'm in the midst of it. And it's hurtful a little bit.
It does. It does hurt. Listen, when they say you're pruning something, you think about, like a flower or a tree. You're cutting something off of a tree. So that's something being cut off of you. Nope, shit. You can get a haircut and it's hurtful. It's like, damn, I had all of this damn hair and I gotta get it cut off. There's nothing that's cut from you that doesn't have a certain feeling. So of course you're gonna feel it. Of course it's gonna hurt. But it's what they say in the gym: no pain, no gain. You gotta put some skin in the game if you're really trying to grow, or you'll stunt your own growth.
I know that's right. Well, I mean, if we're talking about growth, look at the personification itself right in front of us. We have seen you do so many things in this industry, and I think you are working really hard right now. There's a lot going on for yourself. So let's talk about these roles on your professional side that you are in right now. Swagger, we got Thoughts of a Colored Man. There's so much more. What can you tell us about these experiences in going from Apple TV to having your first presence on Broadway?
Oh man, it has been a lot, but for some reason, not for some reason, because of how much I love what I do, because of how much I love just being a student to this game, constantly learning and building and growing and trying to learn more, trying to be more from everyone. You know, if you're a forever student, you understand that the first thing that you have to understand if you want to be a forever student, as my grandfather always says, you have to know that you don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be willing to learn from everybody. It doesn't matter how big or how small, everybody can teach you something.
Right.
So being able to go into these things, these different places that I love, whether it is the Broadway stage, whether it is, you know, the set of Really Love or the set of Swagger, if it's, you know, the set of Wouldn't Mean Nothing, the short film that I wrote, directed, and starred in myself with Shannon Thornton from P Valley, you know, if it's in the studio with the music that's going to be coming out real soon, you know, you just keep yourself open. And as Jay-Z said, you just crack the door a little bit and let God come in. That's it. That's really it, man. I'm very excited. I'm very grateful that I could come to work every day and be able to touch people every single day, but also be touched not only by the people that are in the audience, but by the people that I'm constantly rubbing shoulders with, whether it is on this stage, on the set, or in the studio. It's amazing.
It is a blessing, and this, especially having this being your Broadway debut. What a debut to have! Something inherently blackety black, and surrounded by other Black men who I'm sure you admire and who are your peers. I'm curious, because of this being your debut, what do you think it was about your audition that got you this part?
It wasn't, you know what I think it was, more than anything else, because this play is such a New York play. I guess one of the things that I bring to it that maybe I guess other guys didn't bring to it, or that they really wanted specifically from me, was just that tie to New York City. I'm the New York kid, man. I love New York. This is my home. This is where I am, born and bred. And to be able to get on that stage and not be as clean and polished as Broadway would like, but to feel as authentic as a slice of cheese pizza feels, you know, to feel as authentic as riding the 2 train at night, to feel like what New York feels like. I think that's what kind of came across more than anything else.
So you mentioned it a little earlier, your short film, Wouldn't Mean Nothing. Let's talk about it. First of all, how long did it take you to sit down and write this thing? You be writing?
Man, I do. I really do. I've always been writing, whether it was poems, stories, ideas, then songs, of course, rhymes, songs. But it turned into writing scripts. I've been reading scripts since I was a kid, of course. So I knew the layout or how they were supposed to be put together. And it started with me doing After Hours. I did a mini series for my last album called it was named after the album, called After Hours, with me and my boy Greg Cali. And you know, that was my first time kind of dabbling in directing a little bit, because it was me and him at the same time, dabbling in writing a script. But then I said, you know what, I'm gonna just try it. I have an idea, let me try it myself. During quarantine, when we had all of that time sitting in the house, I actually sat down, I started writing. It probably took me about 3 months to really write this script, to get it to a place that I really liked it. No more, like, not that many edits afterwards.
Wow.
And then we shot it maybe that Christmas break, coming into this last year. Coming into this last year. So between the 26th of December 2021 to like right before New Year's, I got everybody home for New Year's. I think it only took like 3 days to shoot. Yeah.
That has to feel so empowering to be able to create on this level and then just do it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's empowering. It's expensive, but it's
Yeah.
empowering.
Yes, that's what I'm
But
like, okay,
yeah,
that's dope. But why
but
do it this way versus say like, let me shop it around. Let me see who else could handle it for me.
I don't like to take an easy way out. Like I'm somebody who kind of I don't want anybody to be able to say, he got that because of such
Mm.
and such, or he knows this person and blah 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 blah. It's like, nah, listen, I did it the same way that you did it when you didn't have anything, the same way that I didn't have anything. Scrapped the money together, got the cameras, shot it with my team, my friends, my family, and we made something amazing. Versus, trying just being like, oh, my name is Mack Wilds, I'm gonna go to HBO and shop this around and such and such and such and such, which would have been cool too. But I wanted to show that I could do it myself. And then now, if I and when I bring it to one of these networks or something of that nature, they also have something to look at.
They can
They have
see
a
it.
proof of concept. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So for these young filmmakers, young creatives out here who are watching you expand in many ways in this industry, what pieces of advice would you give them as they
Ooh.
are jumping into creation mode? Because a lot of people are still asking, how do I get started? And I hate that question
You
because
know
that's
why I
not a
hate
real
it?
question.
It's not a real question. Just start. Just do it.
Because I be feeling like a jerk when I'm like, well, do it.
What do you mean you're trying to do it? There's no trying. It's either
No.
you. I had somebody tell me one time, and it has changed my life since then. When I was a kid, somebody would say like, oh, like how you doing? Or what you like, oh, you doing that? They'd be like, yeah, I'm trying. It's like, nah, don't say you're trying. Because when you say you're trying, that leaves you room to say to not do it.
To not do it.
Either you do it or you don't do it. There's
Yoda said
no in
that, do
between.
or do not. There is no try.
There is no try. What are you talking about? This try
Yeah.
stuff. So stop saying you're aspiring, nigga. Get out there and do it. Like that would be literally the first thing I would say. Get out there and do it.
Yeah.
The second thing I would say is, and again, depending on where you are in your life, what season you're in or whatever, always understand that you as a person are made up of your habits.
Mm.
So whatever you are deciding to, like, whatever your habits are, whatever you are deciding to do, whether it is go on Instagram all day, that's what you're going to be doing. Like, that's where you're going to be. If your habit is to
Word.
get up and write a little bit every day, that's going to be where you are. Like, if your habit is I want to watch a movie every Sunday to learn cinematography tricks and this, that, and the third, that's going to be where that's going to build who you are. So just understand that who you are or the person that you're building is based off of your habits.
That's really good. I love that. Thank you for that. Those are really good pieces of advice. Ain't no try, okay? What we doing
Mm-hmm.
around here? And I think also people get overwhelmed in thinking that it's this grand scale. If I'm gonna do it, it has to be like this. When I'm like,
No,
no, we live in a day and age where you can shoot 4K on your iPhone, and
pretty much.
a lot of people have these type of phones. So it's like if it's a shooting thing, if it's, you just have to think of ways to go around it. You don't necessarily need lighting if you use a specific time of day. Like, it's just like, don't allow things that you don't have to be like the obstacle.
I the if you can make something amazing with the things that you have in your hands, your phone, the sky, the regular sunlight. If you can make something look amazing with that, you can do something even better when you actually get the money to
Yeah.
do better things. Just focus on, because what you'll learn on equipment that isn't top of the line is technique. And a lot of guys don't have great technique. If you learn great technique and then go to better products, what you create will automatically, drastically be better than anyone else's. So I would say, when you're early on, don't think about what you don't have. focus on the technique, and the technique doesn't take anything but literally what you have in your hands.
I can't wait to talk to you again when Emmy season, what we need to do.
Emmy season, Tony season. Yeah. The seasons.
Yes, I forgot. Our boy is going for it. You're trying to be on John Legend's level, Whoopi Goldberg's level.
Yes.
I see you.
That's what we shooting for. The EGOT, young EGOT.
I can really see it for you. That's because it's like right there now. Okay, well, we'll put the prayers up. Jesus, listen.
He does.